This is going to be a demonstration of the inventory system that's built into FarmFact. Now, the previous one we talked about cash accounting. Between inventory and cash accounting, you see all these various support files. These are primarily part of the cash accounting too. These two boxes in this area deal with cash accounting and supporting. We also have mentioned in earlier segments that it is multi-client capable, and by selecting an individual client, all these items down here, and by selecting a specific tax year, everything you see down here now points to that client in that tax year. Well, the same is true of inventory. I'm up to Demo Rogers Family Farm now, and if I were to go back to 2009, open the inventory up, and were to print a balance sheet, that would be the balance sheet the way it was at the end of 2009. Whereas if I come back up here to the current year, now we have our active inventory. Within the inventory, we break it down into different categories, just like we do on the cash entry screen. We have crop, livestock, business equipment, vehicles, real estate. Let's just go into one of the types of equipment. In equipment, we have different links: farm, business, and personal. And we open up farm equipment. We have a list of all the farm equipment. And this isn't something you need to do in the very beginning, but if you want a good balance sheet out of FarmFact by, say, the end of the first year, you'll need to have this completed. Description, you'll have a purchase date, purchase amount, and the current value, which will then go to the balance sheet. Each piece of equipment has its own maintenance log, which you'll see down below down here. You can even keep images if you want to put pictures or post pictures of your equipment. FarmFact allows you to do that. From each of these screens, you can get an individual report of the contents of that screen. Report coming to the screen here first, you can print the entire report at page, or you can even save as a PDF to email it to someone. In this case, it's going to list each piece of equipment and the maintenance log underneath that piece of equipment. Let's come back out here and let's go up to real estate. Farm, business, and personal real estate. And the same thing, you can list each farm you own. You have a place for a maintenance log on that farm, such as tiling, things like that. And going down at the bottom towards here, we have cash assets. You have liabilities, notes, loans, and mortgages. This actually comes from the cash accounting side, but one of the things you can do from the screen is you can have FarmFact calculate accrued interest, again, so you can get a good balance sheet. The primary purpose of inventory, of any inventory, is to get a balance sheet principally, and you can get one anytime you want to, especially if you're using more of the accrual side. But for the end of year, you create a balance sheet for your lender. We're going to go ahead and bring one up on screen. And it is a very nice in-color balance sheet with assets, liabilities, the date of which it's posted, intermediate, short-term, intermediate, long-term, along with your net worth. The other thing that FarmFact does do is that balance sheet will be locked as of the last day of that tax year. When you do your tax year rollover, a copy of all your property files and all your equipment and all your crops on hand will move forward, and that will become the new balance sheet for the next year. Meanwhile, this copy stays right here. You can also add to that a listing of the print schedule. Sometimes the lender maybe wants a breakdown of the items on the balance sheet. You can include the property logs or not. In this case, we won't. And here it's just going to be a listing of detail of all the items that went into the creation of that balance sheet. So all of that is available to you over here in the inventory segment. Not something you need to start immediately when you start your cash accounting, but it's something that could be very useful for you. Once you do get the inventory completed, then as you move forward to future years, it's simply a matter of, at the end of the year, if you want to get a good balance sheet, go in, polish the items, clean them up, readdress them, maybe revalue equipment, you get your balance sheet, and you're ready to go again.